I'm lucky that I get to work in this industry, and particularly incredibly fortunate that I get to work in it this long, but I really want to work with people that are either immensely talented. I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Hey everyone, Azalea here. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively once seemed untouchable, the picture-perfect Hollywood couple. They entertained fans with their playful back and forth on social media, dazzled on red carpets with their effortless chemistry, and spoke about each other in interviews with nothing but admiration. Their marriage appeared to be a rare gem in an industry full of short-lived relationships. But now, in a shocking turn of events, Ryan Reynolds has reportedly filed for divorce. And what's even wilder, his decision appears to be deeply connected to the spiraling controversy surrounding Blake's feud with actor-director Justin Baldoni. What started as a straightforward film adaptation of It Ends With Us has now exploded into a whirlwind of accusations, conflicting stories, and personal fallout. And now, it's not just about behind-the-scenes drama, leaked texts, or Hollywood egos clashing. It has turned into a full-blown public spectacle. Ryan isn't just distancing himself from Blake, he's reportedly aligning himself with Justin in a way no one saw coming. For weeks before the divorce filings became public, whispers were already circulating. Fans started noticing subtle but undeniable changes. Ryan, once known for constantly praising Blake, suddenly became noticeably quiet about her. It wasn't just a one-time thing either. The first real red flag? He showed up alone to an event looking unusually serious. When reporters asked about Blake, he dodged the questions entirely. Then came the real kicker. Tabloids reported that Ryan had been spotted having a private meeting with Justin Baldoni. Both men looked serious, clearly discussing something important. And when reporters pressed Ryan about it, he brushed it off, saying it was just a friendly conversation. Then, the bombshell dropped. Ryan officially filed for divorce. And suddenly, it was clear that something much bigger had been happening behind the scenes. The first real signs that something was off came when Ryan showed up alone to an event, looking noticeably subdued. When asked about Blake, he refused to comment. Then came the real shocker. Tabloids reported that Ryan and Justin Baldoni had been spotted meeting privately, both men appearing serious. When reporters pressed Ryan for answers, he brushed it off as just a friendly conversation. But when the official divorce filing surfaced, it was clear something much bigger was happening behind the scenes. Now let's rewind a bit. The root of this fallout traces back to the production of It Ends With Us. Justin Baldoni, who was not only starring in, but also directing and co-writing the film, had personally recruited Blake to play the lead. On paper, it seemed perfect. Blake was a fan favorite, known for her elegance, charm, and humor in interviews. Justin, while not as high profile, had built a reputation as a genuine, compassionate filmmaker, a guy devoted to humanitarian projects and feel-good stories. Everyone expected their collaboration to be a match made in Hollywood heaven. Except, that's not what happened. Behind the scenes, things weren't as picture-perfect as they seemed. Insiders started whispering that Blake felt overshadowed by Justin, especially with him wearing so many hats in the production. Tension grew. Most assumed it was just typical Hollywood friction, the kind that usually stays behind closed doors. But then, Blake started hinting that Justin was behind a smear campaign, allegedly planting negative stories to make her look difficult and uncooperative. At first, people sympathized with Blake. After all, the entertainment industry is notorious for backroom politics and image manipulation. But that sympathy, it didn't last long, because then Justin's inner circle clapped back, offering hard proof that directly contradicted Blake's version of events. Text messages leaked, showing very different conversations than what Blake had claimed. Instead of Justin sabotaging her, the messages suggested that Blake was actually the one stirring up trouble. Some messages even showed her strategizing behind the scenes, mentioning how she wanted more creative control and referencing an inner circle she could mobilize if things didn't go her way. Ryan took notice. While he had always supported Blake's ambitions, he also had a reputation for being fair and level-headed. And suddenly, he started feeling uneasy. Sources close to him said he was becoming increasingly troubled by how different Blake's public statements were compared to the actual evidence. And it wasn't just about the film anymore. Ryan realized that his own public image was taking a hit. He was being cast as Blake's unwavering defender, even when the facts no longer aligned with her story. The deeper this controversy went, the more it clashed with Ryan's values. Meanwhile, Justin stayed firm, standing by the receipts that dismantled Blake's narrative. But here's the thing. Despite how messy this all became, Justin never seemed to take pleasure in it. Privately, he insisted that his goal was never to break up Blake and Ryan's marriage. All he wanted? To clear his name and protect his work. While he didn't hold back from releasing evidence, his tone remained factual. He focused on exposing contradictions in Blake's statements, rather than launching personal attacks. And then came the most surprising twist of all. Industry insiders started speculating that Ryan, who values honesty and transparency, may have actually begun aligning with Justin's stance more than Blake's. And as the dust settled, momentarily, Ryan and Justin met again. Blake Lively is at a pivotal moment in her career. She has two options. She could speak out, directly addressing her audience, offering her version of events, and attempting to rebuild trust through transparency. Or she could disappear from the spotlight, hoping the controversy fades and that Hollywood still values her undeniable talent. Hollywood is a world of reinvention. Many actors have survived seemingly career-ending scandals, only to come back stronger. But this situation, it's different, because now there's a digital paper trail. Texts, emails, leaked conversations. That kind of documentation, it's a double-edged sword. It can clear someone's name, or it can destroy a carefully crafted image in seconds. And right now, that sword is cutting deep into Blake's once flawless reputation. Meanwhile, the media is obsessed with the Ryan-Justin alliance. The headlines aren't just reporting the facts, they're framing it as a definitive break between Ryan and Blake. Instead of staying neutral, Ryan's actions have made one thing very, very clear. He believes in Justin's credibility, not the narrative that Blake tried to push. And that's huge. Industry insiders have been quietly discussing how rare it is to see a personal relationship unravel this publicly over a film dispute. But those closest to the situation, they know this isn't just about one movie. It's about trust issues and fundamental incompatibilities that may have been simmering for a long time. Meanwhile, fans are watching every development, some in shock, others with curiosity. Social media is flooded with analysis of leaked messages, speculations about what comes next, and debates about whether Blake will try to reconcile with Ryan. Could she try to clear things up, claiming she was misunderstood? Or is it too late? Ryan's divorce filing suggests that he's already made up his mind. For now, he's moving forward without Blake, and his growing connection to Justin only reinforces the idea that he doesn't support her version of events. Beyond just this one scandal, this whole situation highlights a bigger lesson about modern celebrity life. In an era where every conversation, every joke, and every behind-the-scenes deal can be preserved forever, maintaining a perfect public image is harder than ever. Hollywood has always been a world of carefully curated illusions. But real-life text messages? They can shatter even the most well-orchestrated reputations. A few months ago, It Ends With Us was set to be a heartfelt book-to-film adaptation, featuring a dream cast. Now, the movie itself has been completely overshadowed. Instead of discussing its themes, people are dissecting leaked screenshots, debating the ethics of editing messages, and questioning whether Blake used her Hollywood connections to manipulate the project. But here's an interesting thought. Once the legal battle is over and the dust finally settles, will a fuller version of the truth come out? Could this all be the result of miscommunication, of small conflicts that spiraled out of control? Or was this a case of calculated ambition, a power move that backfired spectacularly? In an ideal world, maybe the people involved will one day come together, admit mistakes, and set the record straight. But right now, that seems unlikely. With Ryan officially distancing himself from Blake's version of events and standing alongside Justin, whether formally or not, he's sending a very clear message. He doesn't believe her story.